Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first proper episode of the United Gamedom podcast in 2015. This is episode 64 proper, though. I said it last time, but I'm just going to make this properly episode 64 now of the United Gamedom podcast. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Darren, and with me this time is Derek, Gigastorm C, because we have no Dennis because he is feeling unwell at the moment. So get well soon to our Canadian friend. But how are you doing this weekend, Derek?
Good. Just taking a break from killing some zombies.
Yeah, you're going to hear a whole lot about Dying Light in this podcast. This one's not necessarily going to be very long now. I have a few games I have on my list, but I'm not going to go too long on most of them now because I talked a bit about them, one or two in particular on my Game of the Year podcast. So, but I like to get more into depth about Dragon Age Origins, especially because I like to see what choices you made and things like that, if you recall.
Yeah, if I can
When you
remember.
Yeah, if you can remember, during the thing though, like I'll probably just call up the Dragon Age keyboard out during this podcast so I can remember some of the choices I made now as well. Because I finally finished it after playing it for about 2 months, and I think it started like in November, and finally got to the end of it. And I
Hmm.
did the Witches Hunt DLC, but we'll get into that though later. But you'll be playing a lot of Dying Light anyway, which we'll get into. Um,
Hmm.
Later as well. Unless have you been playing anything else besides Dying Light though? Because I know you've been playing a whole shit of it though. Because since it came out like what 2-3 weeks ago now.
Yeah, it was last week in January when I was on vacation. Um, I did. I mean, I've been playing Monster Strike still, obviously, but I did also get. There was a game I bought a week or two prior to Dying Light. I bought the Saints Row 4 Re-Elected on PS4, which included Get Out of Hell DLC.
That's correct. I forgot about that.
Um, I wanted to play Get Out of Hell, and I know it's like 20 bucks regular price, I think. And Best Buy had a deal where it was on sale, and then you get $10 gift card as well. And so since I have the Gamers Club unlocked, I get 20% off on top of the sale. So it was like 20. I think it was $37, and then I get a $10 gift card with that too. So I bought that. And then actually, what I did is I used my $10 gift card to buy Bound by Flame on PS4, which was on sale for 17.99 or something. So I only paid like $7 for it. And that
Okay.
was that was the game I remember watching the quick look, and I thought it seemed pretty interesting, even though it's kind of like it's not like a AAA quality game or anything. But I did
Yeah, it's
I
one of those European RPGs a
right.
lot of people criticize for being kind of janky.
Hmm. Um, I did play that a little bit too, but I'll talk about Saints Row 4 briefly here. So I started playing Get Out of Hell, and basically what it is, all you get is the download code. Like you get the disc, and then it has Saints Row 4 and the DLC on it, and then the Get Out of Hell DLC is a download code. So I downloaded that and started playing it. And basically, it takes place, I think, either at the very end of Saints Row 4 or like right before it. It's like near the end. And you basically just get sucked into hell for whatever reason. Like Satan wants the the boss to marry his daughter, and so you don't actually play as the boss. You play as either Gat or Kinsey, and there's no customization of the character at all. You can't change anything about the characters you play as. There's no music in the game really. I mean, there's some like ambient sounds, but and occasionally there'll be some music during like a battle or something, but there's no actual like radio or anything to listen to, which kind of sucks. And
Do you think they'll have some metal or something, or
well, you
satanic
would
rock
think
or
so.
something when
Yeah,
if
you would
they're
think
in
so.
hell?
And it doesn't look good at all. It looks like the 360 or PS3 versions. So, like it does not look like the PC version. I mean, I don't have the PC version, but I know I've seen footage of it. It does not look like that. So that was pretty disappointing because I was hoping that I'll be playing like an HD remaster, or not even like that, just like a PC version port on PS4, because the 360 version like runs kind of bad and it looks really bad. And I heard that heard and seen that the PC one looked a lot better. Well,
Yeah, that's me and Dennis got the PC version of Saints
mhm.
Row 4
But
when it came
this
out.
this does not look very good at all, unfortunately. And it's also pretty boring. Like you're doing the same stuff in Saints Row 4. It's just like they rename it and it's like maybe slightly different. And I don't know. It just found it to be really boring. I mean, the flying around stuff is kind of fun, like because you have wings instead of just like superpowers or whatever. You get these. I think they're Lucifer's wings or Michael or some archangel or something. You get their wings and then you use them to fly around. Um, I mean, I didn't play it a whole lot because I was pretty bored with it pretty quick. I did a couple of the main missions and I was like, I don't know if I want to really spend any time with this. And I was really disappointed that it didn't look that good. I was hoping that we'd be getting the PC port, basically. So
You
then,
think you would though?
I mean, yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't be porting the PC version, because I'm sure the PS4 can handle it, even the Xbox One.
Yeah, because a lot of people say like the PC version, like the PS4 and the Xbox One are kind of like it's a PC. It's like maybe like the medium, the high set between medium and high maybe settings of a PC game if it's like a good graphical game now.
Hmm.
So it should look nice anyway though. But if it says so, it still looks like the 360 version. Not it's not good.
Yeah. So I kind of stopped playing that, and then Dying Light came out, and I watched the quick look on Tuesday because I was on vacation that week, so I watched it like right when it came out. Usually, what I do is I download the videos and then watch them like if I'm on break at work or if it's slow at work or something, I'll watch them while I'm working. So I watched that and I was like, oh, I really kind of want this game a lot. And then they had a deal at Best Buy where you can trade in games for 30% extra credit, and then of course I get my 20% off of the game itself. So I decided to trade in Saints Row 4, even though I already used the Get Out of Hell download code, and I still technically own the game, so I can still go back and play it, even though I traded in the disc. So I got 20 bucks, or no, 26 bucks for the disc. So when I bought Dying Light, I think I only played like 25, or no, not even that, maybe like just 20. Not a whole lot, that's for sure. So I got a really good deal on it. And yeah, I've been playing, basically been playing Dying Light ever since. I almost forgot that I did buy Bound by Flame like in between that time when they had a sale, and I played like 2 or 3 hours of it. The combat is really good. It's just that it's really hard. Actually, I like it more than Dragon Age Inquisition, which I kind of there's some comparisons between the two, just like as far as characters and it's like a fantasy game, but and it's the most recent fantasy game that I played. Like the combat is it's really tough, and it's not like Dragon Age where you're just managing cooldowns pretty much. You have stamina meter, like a magic meter and health meter, and there's a lot of blocking and like parrying attacks and stuff. It's kind of I don't know. I wouldn't say it's Dark Souls, but I mean it has the same basic idea as that, I guess.
Yeah, like I got it myself when it was on sale, like during like one of those promotion things, and I played like a few hours of it as well, and it's all right though. It's not like fantastic by any means, but it's decent enough though for what I paid for it.
Hmm. The voice acting is pretty terrible, and the dialogue is crazy. They swear like constantly. It's so weird. Like doesn't really seem to fit the universe, but it's just crazy. Um, so I think I might restart and like choose the ranger path. So basically, you have three classes kind of. You have your warrior, which is like your two-handed sword. You have your ranger, which is like a dual wield dagger class, and then you have your magic stats magic that you can put into like every time you level up or whatever you get points you can put into each one of those categories. Um, and it's pretty tricky. Like it's pretty hard, especially those. I don't know if you watched the quick look, but there's an area in the game where they were playing. There's these flying, like weird looking creatures in like this forest, and those things will like destroy you. They're pretty tough. And I was looking up like certain builds to see like what's a good ability to like focus on or stuff. And it sounds like the ranger one is the way to go, which is weird because I was using the warrior because I like blocking and then occasionally parrying attacks. You can't do that with the ranger. You have to dodge. That's a class like where you're like nimble and you're agile and you're dodging. And there's like a stealth element with that class too.
Right.
So I might restart and try and focus on the ranger instead because I've been putting most of my points into warrior. But I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, Dying Light came out, and it's not officially Dead Island 2, but it pretty much is Dead Island 2. Like it's the same.
It's a spiritual successor in a way, though, because it's done by Techland and it's done by the team that did Dead Island, the
Right.
first Dead Island anyway.
Right. It's basically a perfected version of Dead Island. There's only 2 areas in the game, as far as I know.
It isn't a perfected version. They didn't. They took out the best
Well,
flipping
see,
combat system in it.
I thought that was terrible. I don't see what people like about it. Because like, how do you handle when those runners come at you, and you have to sit there and like hit the joystick and then get it all nice and angled and stuff. Like, there's not enough time. Like they kick you and like hit you and.
This is Dying Light now because they run and all that there, I presume.
Well, they have they were in Dead Island too, like the ones that come the fast ones. I forget what they officially call them in Dead Island. They're called virals here in Dying Light. They're like the recently infected, like recently turned zombies. So they're like, they still have some remnants of their humanity, which is really weird. Like when you're attacking them, sometimes they say like no no no. It's like really weird, and then they'll just go back into like zombie mode, and they actually dodge your attacks too. Like they'll jump to the side or back and stuff. And at first they're pretty hard to beat, especially at the beginning when you have pretty crappy weapons and all you have is like pipes and like wrenches and stuff.
Yeah.
And anytime you make a lot of noise, they come running from like nowhere. It's like they're usually like hiding in, or not, I don't know if hiding, but sometimes you'll notice when you're running around, you'll see them break out of different doors like that you wouldn't be able to get into, or different buildings. But anytime there's like an explosion or a gunshot, they'll come running. Usually like about 2 of them at a time will come. They can be at first they're really tough, but eventually you get to a point where you're like overpowered and you can pretty much just destroy everything, which is what my character is like right now. I'm not max level yet, but I think my power level is at 19, my agility is at like 14, and then my survivor I think is 19. So basically you have 3 different power-ups to choose from, or like 3 different leveling systems. You have your survivor leveling system, which is your you get that for like mission or like quest rewards, and then turning in like the drops. Like there's these airships that come in and drop supplies, and you have to go run and get them before the neighboring faction does, like the bad guys basically. And if you don't get there in time, like they'll have 2 guys standing there, and they've already taken like half of the drop, and you have to either kill them to take that to the other half, or you just leave it. You don't worry about it. So you get survivor rank from those, and mainly those in quests. There's agility rank, which you get for doing all the running around and jumping. Like every time you jump up a building or run over something, run up on something, you get an agility point. And then there's the power system, which is anytime you kill a zombie or even attack a zombie, you get points for that.
Does crafting
Nope.
attribute to any of them? No.
Crafting or lockpicking, no, they don't. They do not. You don't get points for any of that stuff.
Okay.
So, I guess my only complaint with the game actually is that I wish there was some reward for doing the lock picking. Like if it would increase like your survivor rank or agility or something, you just get nothing. Because sometimes those lock picking things take a long time. Like there's easy, medium, hard, and then very hard levels of lock picking, and it's exactly like Fallout, like the
Yeah.
system where you have like this two things that you're turning to try and you know like the control. Oh yeah, you have to have the vibration on your controller because I had been playing with the vibration off for a long time on my PS4, and I just when I started playing this game, I was like, wait, why can't I not pick this lock? What the hell's going on? I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I have to turn the vibration on. So because I had turned it off for Destiny because it just got I don't know, it just got annoying.
Oh yeah, that game.
Yeah. So I turned it back on because you have to make sure that the controller doesn't like vibrate a whole lot, otherwise your pick will break. So the way you move your knife and your pick, you have to find the spot where it doesn't vibrate the controller. Um, and like on the easy one, the spot will be really big, and the medium one will be smaller, and then very hard. It's like the spot is so tiny that it's really hard to find, and it takes a long time.
Yeah, like I like those kind of things in these games. Like I wish, like going like I'll talk about it later though about in Dragon Age Origins. But I just hate in Dragon Age
Oh, you
Origins
have to
where
have
you
a
have
rogue.
to increase it. You have to use a certain attribute, like ability. You have to unlock on a certain ability. You have to pick
Oh,
it to
well,
increase it if you're a rogue or something. But I wish that had like little wee mini game in it though, like in this here and like in
mhm.
Fallout though, where you can just pick up lock picks and then like do it that way rather than say like because majority of the time I went to fucking chests and I was just like, nope, insufficient skill, insufficient skill.
In Dragon Age Inquisition, the only person or class that can unlock a lock is a rogue. So if you don't have a rogue in your party, you're screwed. You can't open the chest or the door or whatever it is.
Hmm.
So that kind of sucks because there were times when I was playing through like story missions where I didn't have a rogue with me, and I was like, oh crap, I totally missed whatever was in there. You know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my experience when I was playing through Origins. Like some missions I didn't take, Liliana or like Severin with me. I was like, yep, came across a chest. It's locked. That's me screwed then.
Yeah.
And
And
most of the ones I got open were shite anyway, just full of junk.
pretty much everyone in Inquisition that has a lock is good stuff. So if you miss one, you're missing out, unfortunately. So back to Dying Light. So in Dead Island, you played as one of four characters. In Dying Light, you don't choose a character. You just Crane. I forget what his first name is. Uh,
Fraser.
no, no, it's like Kyle or something. I don't know. But you're this undercover guy sent in by the GRE, and they're trying to find this file that this like criminal has, and you don't really know entirely what they're looking for. Even now, I don't really know what exactly they were looking for, but things go bad basically, and then I don't know what to spoil anything because the story is actually pretty good. Unlike in Dead Island, this story so far is actually pretty good. The story in Dead Island is pretty terrible. So yeah, you're just a dude. You're not.
What happened at the end of Dead Island though? Because I never finished it. Do you actually remember?
I think the last level is like this laboratory area, and if I remember right, the guy that was helping you was actually the bad guy the whole long, and he like screws you over, and you have to fight him at the very end.
Okay.
And he like gets superpowers or something from some serum or something. I think. I remember that boss fight being really hard, that last boss fight. And yeah, I don't know. It was pretty bad. It's not worth seeing.
Yeah, cause like I remember enjoying Dead Island though, but like the first area in that game was easily the best, and it kind of went downhill then slowly from there.
Mhm.
Like I just got to like the big jungle part though, and that's where I stopped playing it.
Yeah, there was the beach, there was the sewers, the city, the jungle, and then like the laboratory. There might have been one other area. I don't know for sure.
It's like a prison or something, was it?
Oh yeah, I think there was a prison. Actually, there is a sewers area in this game, but it's really short and it's nothing like Dead Island, so that's good. Um, and there are two areas. There's you start in like the slums, and then eventually you get to a place called Old Town, and it looks like it's something out of Assassin's Creed, which is pretty crazy. Like all the buildings are really like old looking, like that European. I don't know, like
Architecture.
yeah, yeah. It's like whoa, did I just step into Assassin's Creed? Like the second I got into the area, it's like completely different looking than the starting area. So I don't think there's anything else afterwards, but I mean there could be. I don't know.
Does the place have a like a name or something, or like the city or you're in or whatever it is?
The city is called Haran.
Haran. Okay.
Yeah. Then there's you start in the slums and then you go to Old Town. So it's like in I don't know if it's in the Middle East or something, somewhere there.
I think it is out there now because I looked up. I found like there's certain people like there's certain things about why was the physical version here delayed though. Like I heard it was actually like some sort of distribution issue with Warner Brothers though, and then there's another. I was listening to a podcast a few weeks ago, and apparently it was because of this whole thing where was it Al Jarbo or something, and they were like the Hoots and all that there, those Middle East guys. There's like zombies in that there in this game, and they had to remove them or something. Hence the reason why it got delayed here. Which if that was actually the
So
reason, I found stupid.
they removed some of the zombies or something.
Yeah, like they had like the was it Al Jarb or something like the ones that kind of where the like Middle East guys have those like hoot things, like those things, and like then there's partly
Okay.
that might have been the reason why it's delayed here, the physical version.
Huh.
They had
I
to
don't.
remove them and then like an update or something. Like I don't even think they actually did it in the States now, but like apparently that was a reason why it was delayed here, the physical version though. But I don't know if that was the case or not now.
Huh.
I feel like the distribution in one probably might have been a bit more valid though, but I could be wrong there.
Well, none of the zombies have those hood things in this.
Yeah, because I think it might have been updated or something for you guys, like when it came out. Like, did you have to download like a patch or something when
Yeah.
you got
Uh huh.
played it? So that I think that might have been the case.
Huh.
I think that was it. Like, you
Weird.
download a patch to remove it though, but why can we get it then? Why did it have to be delayed a fucking month? Like
Huh.
that's
Weird.
like I said, that's the first time of me like a physical version's delayed
Yeah, that's
for.
weird. Um,
So
yeah.
continue.
Speaking of the headgear, none of them have hair. None of the zombies have hair. They're all bald. I guess which makes sense. I mean, like the body decays and you like lose your skin and your hair and stuff, right?
Yeah, most zombies you counter in games anyway pretty much have no hair,
Yeah.
so
And some of them have like hats and stuff. Like there's police zombies that have their hats on still, but yeah. Um, what was I talking about? Setting, I guess.
yeah, you're just talking about the settings
Okay.
though.
So yeah, the first area is the city. I mean, well, they're both cities, but they have like beaches too, so that you kind of reminded of the beach area of the first game, but it's not like a resort or anything. It's just I don't know, just a beach. Um, so yeah, two areas. I don't know if there's gonna be any more. There might be. I don't know.
Like is it that very big now, or like the big as like a certain area in Dead Island
the
now, or is it
first the
bigger?
first area is really big, and the second area is probably half the size.
Okay.
Um, Tons of different buildings, tons of different buildings to go into. You can't go into every single one, but you can go into quite a lot of them. It looks fantastic. Like I think it's probably the best looking PS4 or Xbox One game out now. I think. I mean, it looks really, really good. Like the textures are super highly detailed, and I mean, it runs great. Like I can't really. I'm for whatever reason I can't really notice the difference between like 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second, like all these video game reviewers are do. So I don't really know what the frame rate is, but it doesn't. There's no slowdown or anything, so there's no issues there. Load times. The only times there are load times is when you go into like if you're switching between the two areas, or if there's like a cutscene, or if you're going. Sometimes there's quests where you have to go into a building that has several rooms in it. Like there's a school, for example. And when you go into the school, like there's a load there when you go in there because it's like a bigger area, but it's all indoors. Or if you go into like an office building, there's a quest in there that has a load. But both
It's
times they're
kind of
pretty
like
good.
in yeah, it's kind of like in Batman or something. Sometimes is it then where you had to do a certain quest and you had to go into a building and
I
then
think so. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and like it's a big like a biggish area in there then I guess.
Yep. So I imagine I'm just gonna guess that the Xbox One version is gonna have longer load times because of what I've heard about Dragon Age Inquisition, which had like terribly long load times, but on PS4 it's like almost instant. Like there's not enough time to read all the story that comes up during the load screen. So I'm
That's
assuming
why
it's
I
gonna be
chose
the
that
same.
version.
I'm assuming it's gonna be the same here. But I really like the game a lot. I have a lot of fun just doing all like running around, doing all the parkour stuff. It's really like it's fun to try and like see how far you can go while you're constantly running and like jumping up stuff. Um, and eventually, as you level up your character will get better at that. Like that, he'll be able to climb quicker. And he'll have more stamina, so he doesn't run out of breath. Because if you eventually you run out of breath, so you can't just constantly run and jump over everything. But I think the very last upgrade, like the when you get to the highest level, you get like infinite stamina. So then you can just constantly run and constantly fight. So there's stamina for combat as well. Like
Hmm.
if it's a two-handed weapon, you're going to use more stamina than a one-handed weapon, and then eventually you're going to run out and you can't. All you can do is like a desperation attack. You won't be able to do like a regular attack. So that's something to keep in mind. Like at the beginning, um, yeah, at the beginning of the game, it was pretty tough. Like you didn't want to engage any zombies if you could avoid if you know unless you absolutely had to. Like you really want to be jumping around and running as much as possible, um, because like the weapons you have are like terrible at first. Even like the crafted ones, like that. I mean, that helps a lot. Like if you put like electricity or burning or whatever on a weapon, that helps a lot. But even still, like they're pretty bad. But as you level up, you get better. Like you get machetes and axes and stuff, and even like swords and katanas.
There's fire. I think there is firearms in this game, isn't there?
There's a pistol and then there's a rifle. That's it. Oh no, there's a shotgun too, but I've never actually got a shotgun. I've seen them for sale.
Okay.
Um, and there's you don't get a whole lot of ammo for any of them, and anytime you use one, it attracts the virals. So keep that in mind. I mean, eventually there's no harm done if you're using a gun, and then you can easily take out the virals eventually. But at first, it's not worth it. Um, oh yeah, and they're like you were talking about the manual melee system that they had in Dead Island. What
The
I
analog. It's analog. It was called. It was
or analog.
analog and
Yeah.
digital.
So they have auto aim for the melee in this turned on by default. And for whatever, like at the beginning of the game, I didn't change any settings, and I was having trouble killing zombies like pretty pretty bad. Like I was just getting destroyed by just about anything. So after I watched the quick look, I noticed Brad turned off the auto aim, and it seemed like he was able to get attack them in the head a lot easier. So I
Right.
also did that. I turned off the auto aim, and it almost instantly I was like cutting off the zombies' heads like left and right. Um, you don't really have to aim much because you're like the same height as the zombie, or your cursor will be like right at their head pretty much. As long as you don't move it up or down, you can just swipe and you'll just hit them. Like there's no you don't really have to aim much as long as you're like centered on them.
Right.
I think with the auto aim, that might screw up that aiming. Like it might just be aiming for anything like the closest part of the body that you're aiming, or I don't know. But I would recommend turning off the auto aim for the melee attacks. Um, so I just really I love just running around like killing zombies because I can just destroy like pretty much anything now. Um, and oh, you get a grappling hook eventually too.
Yeah,
That
I know
helps a
that.
lot. That helps a lot with scaling buildings. Like sometimes there'll be a safe house that's way up high on a building or a tower or something. And now that I have that, I can just go up there right away and I'm at the safe house. But the climbing is pretty good. it's slow, but it makes sense. You can kind of tell, there's different objects on these buildings or towers that you're climbing. You can tell like which ones you can grab onto and which ones you can't after you do it a few times. And generally, anything that you look at, once you hit the jump button, which is on R1, you can jump to it. Or that's how you want to do it. Like, okay, I'm going to jump over to this roof. I'm going to look this direction and hit jump. Or I want to get this ledge, so I'm going to look up and hit R1 to jump on this ledge. So that's something you want to kind of keep in mind when you're first starting. It does kind of tell you that too. So it does take a while to get used to the parkour stuff. But once you know how to do it, it's pretty cool. So, and there's co-op, and I haven't played co-op yet because I don't know anybody that has it. Well, I think Mike has it, but I don't play much with him. So yeah,
I would be playing, like I said, I would be playing with you, but now if it wasn't for that delay, and I'm not going to go out of my way and spend 55 quid on PSN for it.
Yeah, that's one thing that sucks about digital games is like when they're brand new, they're all $60, and I mean, you're not going to get any more than like 10% off of those, maybe. So, but
Yeah,
eventually, like when they're super old, they'll have like flash sales and stuff. So that's good. But
yeah, and I know you guys over there got a fucking Valentine's Day sort of sale for a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
and we got bunkus.
That sucks. Sometimes you get ones that we don't get too, though.
Yeah, sometimes you get stuff like we don't get, and vice versa. But I feel like sometimes you actually get the better offers for certain games.
Yeah, the Jackbox and Party Pack is on sale for $10 instead of 25, so I'm gonna buy that. The sale ends tomorrow because that has Fibbage XL and then Drawful, which I don't know if you've seen any of the episodes of on Professional Fridays that they've played it on.
Yeah, that's the only things I sort of watched from those shows in the last like few months or so. I think they're great. Those like I want to get Fibbage though, but the fact is like I won't have anyone to play it with really.
Well,
But,
the nice thing is you don't need like a bunch of controllers. You just use your smartphone.
use your phone.
Well, you don't even have to use your phone. You can use an iPad or you can use a laptop or a computer. You just go to the website, you plug in the little room code. That's really cool. That system with that game. So I played regular Fibbage before, and then if I get the Jackbox Party Pack, I'll get Fibbage XL and then this other game. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing co-op. Like I'll just jump in your game and just like destroy everything.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can drop weapons for you, because you can throw them. I don't have that unlocked, but you can.
We'll have to guess and wait and see then if you get we'll play together.
I can totally.
I'd be like,
totally.
Here's
ruin,
the best weapon in the game. Just go ahead and
Yeah.
fucking kill everyone.
I could
Make
totally
my game
ruin
really
your
fucking
experience.
easy. Yeah, you could pretty much break the game for me then.
Yeah.
I'd be like, geez, that's great.
Yeah. That would kind of ruin it. At first, like the best weapon you can get is these big, huge concrete rebars from those like big, huge guys.
Right.
I can't remember what they were called in Dead Island. I think they're called goons.
I think there were thugs or something.
Yeah, maybe it was thugs. Yeah, I think they're called goons now. And at first, they're really, really tough. And anytime you have a survivor that you're trying to save, and you come up against one of those, that good luck, because the survivor is probably going to die. But now I've gotten to a point where I can kill them in like 4 hits, which is crazy.
Are there like bosses in this game?
There's been one boss so far. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was like, holy shit! I wasn't expecting that at all. It was crazy, but it was cool. I like that. Oh yeah. So there's a day-night cycle. That's pretty important.
Yeah.
And,
It's one of those important things. Yeah.
And
Don't go out in the night.
Yeah. At nighttime, it gets so dark you can barely see anything in front of you unless you have your flashlight on. And then there's these monsters called volatiles that come out, and they're super fast and they're super strong, and they'll kill you in like 2 or 3 hits. Even when I've like almost upgraded everything in my skill trees, and they're still pretty tough. I mean, I can take them out a lot easier now, but they're still really tough.
And then the ones like run around and can like jump very fast and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I think, yeah, I've seen that's the one you can play as, is and that be the
Oh, the
zombie
Night
mode.
Hunter. Night Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those. That's what those are basically. So when it's nighttime, you're on your mini map. You'll see these like vision cones of all the different. So there's volatiles. There's also the virals that are out there too, looking for you. And you'll see them. Like if you hold on X and you go into your like survivor vision, which is kind of like your detective vision from the Batman games, it'll show you where they are, and then on your minimap you can tell like where they're looking. And so there's like a stealth element when it's at night where you want to avoid those as much as possible. And like any sound will attract them, like gunshot or explosion or anything. So you need to avoid them as much as possible, or like completely. Like if you can survive a night without getting spotted, you get like a ton of extra bonus points, which is cool, like survivor points.
All right.
It's actually really cool. At first, the nighttime it was like really tense. Like, oh man, I don't want to get spotted by these guys. Or I'm gonna be dead. Like there's this really tense like suspense, like stealth element to the game, which is completely opposite of the way it is like during the daytime, which is really cool. Um, but unfortunately, it ruins it later on in the game where you get so powerful. Like you can pretty much deal with them. You don't even really have to bother like sneaking around. So like now, if I have to go out at night, I'll just run to wherever I need to go and not even bother with those guys. Um, occasionally I'll still die, but I mean, it's not too much of a problem. So I don't know. I really like that element of the game. That's really cool. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I really like the game. It probably would be my game of the year unless something weird happens at the end. If it would have come out last year, like I like it a lot, like a ton.
It wasn't delayed now, was it? Or was
I
it?
think it was, yeah. I
So
have it on my
yeah.
I have it on my list of delays that we didn't get to talk about on the Game of the Year podcast. So I think it
Oh
was.
yeah, the 50 million delays.
Yep.
What was there was The Witcher, there was Batman, there was
I
that,
have like
there was
20 if you want me to go
Evolve,
through them all.
there was Order. That's a few of them I know like they were supposed to come out and got delayed.
Yeah, here I'll just go through them quick.
Okay.
Evolve, Battlefield
Yeah, it's out now.
Hardline, yep, Battlefield Hardline,
Right.
Batman Arkham Knight,
Out in June.
The Order 1886,
Out next this week coming.
The Witcher 3, which has been delayed twice now,
Yeah, out in May.
The Division, which I don't think they'd officially had a release date, but everybody was expecting it last year. Dying Light, Mad Max, which is another one that was expected last year but didn't have an official release date. Dragon Age Inquisition got delayed a month, so it's not so bad. Quantum Break, I think, is another one where they were expecting it last year but didn't get released. Assassin's Creed Unity 2 weeks. WWE 2K15 3 weeks. The Crew just about a month. Project Cars got delayed to 2015. Ori and the Blind Forest got delayed. Bloodborne like a month and a half or so. Elder Scrolls Online PS4 and Xbox One versions got delayed. And Halo Spartan Strike was delayed to 2015. There's probably more, but I think those are the ones that I have written down.
Yeah. Like Elder Scrolls Online for the console was supposed to be out in June, and then it got just delayed, and it was supposed to like delayed by 6 months or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it was supposed to be out by the end of the year. No, it's not. I think they're actually going to be out like a year. I think they're out in June or something now. I think for the console versions around that time. It's like geez, like a full year when they were supposed to originally come out.
Yeah, it's
And
like
they're dropping the.
why would you delay them so long? Because nobody's even. I mean, does anybody even talk about that game anymore or care about it?
Not really. Like it.
They would have sold more if they put them out all at the same time as the PC.
I got it, and I actually probably would have played more though. The fact is, though, I can't play it with a controller. I don't get why they couldn't give me an option to play it with a controller.
Huh.
You have to play like if I want to play with a controller, I have to go through like a third-party software thing to, assign my buttons to it. Though I just don't get the reason why they couldn't do that. Though if it was coming out in the consoles anyway, why just do it on the PC?
That's weird.
Yeah, they're just dropping the subscription price though, and that basically shows that game's not doing well when they drop it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not free to play though yet though, but you still have to buy it though. But
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised in another year's time it'll end up being free to play.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been up to.
Yep, this is not going to be long. This might be even less than an hour at this point. This will be the shortest episode ever. Um, I'm probably going to talk about Dragon Age Origins now. I finally finished it, like I mentioned earlier. I put about 50 to 60 odd hours into it overall. And I did the Witch's Hunt DLC, which is the one with Morgan in it now, where you have to search for her though. Which I know is actually the last proper DLC in the game though, in terms of taking place in a timeline now, so it's kind of silly me playing it before Awakening though, but I just want to play through it though, because you always said to me there last time it was only a couple of hours, therefore I just wanted to do it though, because I didn't want to go through Awakening though at the moment though, because this kind of had me full of Dragon Age at the moment though, and play Awakening like soon enough anyway. I basically have my Dragon Age Keep open here, and I'll probably be going through some of the major stuff as well, and to see what you think. So it might be best if you open up yours if you can, and you can we could see then what the choices we made. Like I'm sure we probably had made some of the same changes and some of the same choices now, but I'm sure we differed from a few others now. Like you were a male, were you, or were you female when you played through
I
it
was a
originally?
male Dalish elf. Yeah,
Right,
not the city elf, but the other one.
right. Okay, I was a female elf from the circle there from the Magi.
Okay.
Circle of Mages one. I played as it, and my character survived at the end because I persuaded Alistair to do the ritual with Morgan. So all the Grey Wards would survive after the basically when you kill the Archdemon at the end. And let's see, I'm just gonna check here now. Who did you romance?
Morgan.
I romanced Liliana because Morgan doesn't go with females, unfortunately. I probably would have gone with her if she wasn't. Did any of your party members leave or die or whatever?
Well, in the original game, my main character died. I didn't do the ritual thing, and I died when I fought the dragon. But I changed my choice on the tapestry. So,
Okay,
but
right.
no other character died,
No, okay. Right.
or
I
left.
all my characters survived and left though. Well, apart from Logan, of course, but I killed Logan, executed Logan with the warden. Did you execute him or did you let Alistair kill him?
I don't remember what then companions that section.
Yeah, it's in Companions, yeah.
Mm, says I executed him. I don't remember if I actually did though.
Yeah, because I think it's like that's the thing though, because it's very like I wouldn't blame you though, and especially for people who like since they played it when it came out though in 2009, because it's like it was 5 years since the game came out though, and it'd be very hard to remember when.
And I found the Dragon Age Keep to be kind of buggy. Like when I pulled in my character from Origins into Inquisition, not the character, but the information for the character. Like some of it was incorrect.
Right.
Like it says I was some sort of dwarf, but I was
Yeah,
not.
you mentioned that. Yeah, you mentioned that to me though. It
Even
was
though
just
like
like
it has the
strange
picture of my character on my keep, like it has the portrait.
portrait. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I recruited Ogwen, I recruited Severin, I recruited Shelley, I recruited like Wynn and all them. I recruited all those characters, and Alistair became the king, along with what's her name, Honora, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah, I think it is Honor, the landsmate. They became king. It persuaded the both of them to sort of rule it alongside one another. So it did. And the Battle of let's see, the Isle of Redcliffe, he survived. Connor alive was not possessed. Um, it's just one of these choices here where, in terms of, it's just one of those side ones where, in terms of like the tavern here in Dannerin where, or Redcliffe where Bella, who's just the one who's working there, like she could die or she can take over the thing, no, but I didn't really get a chance to sort of go through that little wee side quest thing where she can actually take over though, and therefore there's no choices for what I have here. Like she just basically stayed there, and therefore she's not even like actually owner though, but there's no like actual choice there anyway to like leave or something. So I just said she took over. Um, Now, in the Witch's Hunt DLC, now, do you remember exactly what you did in it now? Did you, like, stab Morgan, or did you just let her
No,
leave,
no.
or what's the deal?
We went through the Luvian.
Oh, you went with her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just let her leave then, so that's something was quite different then. And in the DLC, I recruited Chalet,
Yeah, she was the
the,
pre-order character.
yeah,
I
the,
got that from pre-order the game.
yeah, I was actually surprised when I found out that Alex actually was a female.
Yeah.
Like you didn't expect because of the voice and all that. That you expect it was like some sort of male, though, but then you actually find out it's a female. It was pretty cool. Um, and the Warden's Keep one, which is the DLC though. Anyway, which is
I did that one, but I
do
don't remember much about it. It's pretty short
yeah
though.
yeah. It gained the power of blood though, and I let Slate
Oh yeah,
Sophia
I did do that. I did gain the yeah. I remember that.
and Slate Sophia and allowed Avernus ethical research. Basically, do his research for ethics, not do for his own gain or whatnot now. The nature of the beast one, I broke with the pace where like the cured the werewolf curse. She killed like the gay, I forget his name was, the elf, and that there. Some of the main ones there now. The circle of magi, I sided of course with the elves, because I was part of a mage myself, so I wasn't gonna fuck and side with the Templars. First enchanter, everyone survived. Paragon of our kind, I killed Branka, and I let Balin rule Ozamar because I went with that little quest line because I know you can go with him or what's his fucking name now?
I put Harrowment. That's mine.
Haramont, yeah, that's the one I went with Balin. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of major ones. Like there's loads of those wee little side ones now, like there is, of course, but the only ones I have to do now is like terms of do is just the Awakening expansion now, and go through it and then go through those little choices there, and then onwards to Dragon Age 2. I don't know if I will play Dragon Age 2 now. I'll just go straight to Inquisition though, because I know you're not a particularly big fan of Dragon Age 2 now, and that game is kind of a divisive game. There is people out there that support that game, but there's other ones like yourself that pretty much felt that game's pretty crap, because the fact is you're always stuck in the same area. Like there's like one city and like several other areas, and then it's pretty much repeated ad nauseum because you go through what's it, like 10 years or something. Like
Something like that.
you go through like a
Yeah,
several year
you're just
period.
in one city the whole time, basically.
Yeah,
Which is
Kirkwall.
boring.
Yeah.
And then recycled areas on top of that.
But the thing is, as well, though, this game it came out like Dragon Age Origins came out in 2009 November, and this Dragon Age 2 I think came out February 2011. So they already had like that 18-month period or whatever it was to up and finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, that's what they got though. And that's pretty much I think the reason why some people feel Mass Effect 3 was rushed as well, because the side quests in that game were junk compared to the ones in previous games, where basically become an eavesdropper.
Right.
But yeah, I did like at the end of the day, I really enjoyed Dragon Age Origins. Just really enjoyed most of the characters and some of the side stories. So I think I pretty much did all of the personal quests as well. I got got most of them at the like there's most of the characters I used though. I think the only one I rarely use Stan though, because every time I kind of used him, he seemed to go down quickly. Unfortunately, for some reason.
Probably because you didn't use it much.
Yeah,
I think the
but
only guy I
yeah,
didn't really use much is Zevran, in my
yeah, I would
opinion.
have used like seven like once or twice though. But the fact is,
Oh, him and the dog.
yeah, I never used a dog at all. I don't think I really used a dog. Like I used them in the DLC now for Witch's Hunt because you use them. So you do, along with these two other characters. Um, what was I saying? But like I said, I really did enjoy the game though. Like I could see why really people like it though, and I had to put it to easy though, pretty much from early point though because just found it too hard. And there were certain parts in the game I still took me a while to do even on easy though. I did beat the Archdemon first go. It was pretty fucking easy though. So it was,
Hmm.
to be honest, didn't feel like I was actually really a threat though. But I'm sure if I stuck with normal, like yourself, I probably would have had to turn it to easy though. Because I know you
Yeah.
pretty much played in normal and then you have to turn it to easy.
Yeah, in the very end.
Yeah, which that kind of sucks for yourself
Mm-hmm.
though. Um, I've played through Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. I got it on sale there a few months ago. I downloaded on PS4 and I played through the mission in it now. Um, you haven't played it now, have you?
No.
No. Uh, I don't know, but I actually had trouble sometimes with just getting used to controls, even though it sort of plays more like a third person shooter than the previous games do, though. But I was just getting used to the controls a bit though, and I did enjoy it though, and I'm looking forward to the Phantom Pain though, at the thing, but that whole sort of scene, this whole like the whole controversy scene at the end, which is a bit stretched too far, where they have to take a bomb out of a girl. They have to cut her
Okay.
open and take a bomb out of her, and you can pretty much see like flipping Snake or whatever sticking in like into his like their stomach or something. No, it's kind of a bit risky. It's kind of a bit too far. And then basically at the end, find out at the end she has another bomb, and then she jumps out of the helicopter to and basically blows up
Okay.
at the end of
Huh.
it. It's pretty ridiculous. So, but yeah, it's this big base. So you go through. It's like nearly a year old, nearly a year out now. Anyway, you go through this base. Like I haven't done any of the side mission stuff yet, though. I might do that though. Over the before the Phantom Pain comes out, which I'll assume will probably be out this year anyway, later on in the year. Unless it gets delayed though, I wouldn't be surprised because I don't think Metal Gear Solid 4 I think was supposed to come out in '07 and then it got delayed I think till '08, so I wouldn't be surprised if this got delayed till 2016. So it's been like what 7 years now since flipping 4 came out. So yeah. Yeah, it's a decent game though. I only paid like what was I paid like £7 off for it though, which I think pretty much should have been kind of around this price for it anyway. I don't feel sorry for people who paid 20 odd quid for it. Again, if they're all that sort of side mission stuff though, but you can still finish it in like an hour or two anyway if you're good.
It just seems like it's a glorified demo.
Yeah, like they did the whole thing, like Gran Turismo does the same thing with the prologue stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think yeah, it is pretty much a glorified demo. Where in the Gran Turismo prologue sense, you get like a bunch of cars and like a couple of tracks or something. And I think Gran Turismo 5, I think the prologue for it or something came out like I think it came out in March '07 or something, and then the game didn't come out until fucking 3 years later.
Yeah. Jeez.
because
Yeah, I remember
it
that.
got delayed again, again, and again. And like the PSP version came out the year before, and then flipping it came out, and then it came out a year later though. And then Gran Turismo 6 came out 3 years later, and for the PS3, which is the first one since the first. It's for, so that's basically like there's always been two in every system though. So PS4 there'll have to be at least two Gran Turismo games on it. And let's see now. I finished Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I talked a bit about it on the Game of the Year podcast. I finished all the main episodes. I'm just going through the bonus stuff now. It's a delightful little game. So it is a delightful little puzzle game. Some of the puzzle things towards the end get a little challenging though. Took a while to do one though, but it's a good game nonetheless. So I very much enjoyed it. Gunman.
Seems like a mobile game, kind of like there's the star system from like Angry Birds and stuff, and there's all little small levels that you're trying to find all this stuff. I don't know, whatever you're finding are. I don't know if you're finding stars or what you're finding, but
You
it just
collect.
feels like a mobile game in that respect.
Yeah, you could say that there though, because in each level you have to find like three gems or three diamonds, I think it is. I just call them gems, but it's diamonds anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of each level, like at the end you get a star, and like in each level there's like a certain objective, which you don't really know until you actually finish the level, until you get the star, and then you have to go back into it. Like it might be find the hidden mushroom, and it might be a certain point where you have to find a hidden mushroom by pulling an invisible leaf from the ground, and then you get the mushroom there. And the only way you can find it is if you have your little headlamp on, Toad, and basically it shows you. You can see like the light on the visible leaf then, so you know where it is though, and then you can pull it out then. And there's like other ones like collect 50 coins or do this level light damage or stuff like that now. And some of them are tricky than others anyway. Some of them are pretty easy to do, and other ones like you have to go through a few times. And then it's like of course there's like it's kind of thing though, because in each episode like you pretty much fight the same few bosses several times. Like that's the main boss in the game's called Wingo. It's this big like bird. You fight it twice. And then there's this other one though, I forget its name, that you fight it twice, two or three times as well. So it's kind of repetitive though, and once you finish it though, you unlock these other bonus levels. Then the first chunk are actual levels from Super Mario 3, where like full levels. Then so you have to go through it and then find the actual star, and then you have to find I think a mushroom and a green star, because you don't find gems in them levels. And then there's these other ones like you have to. Like, did you ever play Sunshine?
I played parts of it. Yeah, I don't have it, but yeah, I have.
Or like Galaxy or something? I think I might have
No,
been Galaxy
no,
now.
I never played that.
No, and I think I might have been Galaxy or Sunshine. I forget which one it came from. But in certain levels, they're called these Mommy Me levels, where you have to, you get summoned, and then like there's this thing that just basically comes up after you, like it's a mommy, and basically mimics your moves. Like say you like move this way and then jump or something. No, you don't jump, but move this way. It mimics your moves. You have to basically mimic your every move like a second or so after you though, and you have to get through the level without it killing you then pretty much. And the thing I was Patrick Klepek talked about it on Bomb in the AM when he played it though. The last like level in the game is called Mummy Me is Forever, which he could not finish though. Which you have to pretty much unlock. You have to pretty much do everything in the game before you can lock it though, which I haven't done yet though. But he said he could not do it, and I'd like to try it though. But apparently it's like you have to like 40 mommy. There's like a bunch of mommies like looking for you, or like it's a mommy looking for you, but it's in this big huge maze or something, which would be very tricky though anyway. But yeah, it's a very good game though, and yeah, I actually could see this work very well. Like if Nintendo actually released, games on like Apple services or like Android or something, I actually could see this working very well. Especially you could use like the touch screen, like the iPad to touch just to move the camera around and that there as well and things like that.
Hmm.
Basically would work very well indeed though. But I know they don't do it though anyway. But I could see where they're coming from anyway. It's a good game. Um, I'm glad it was a discount price though anyway, because I think paying full price for it probably wouldn't have been the best now, because if you just go through this game easily, if you don't try to go through getting all the gems and all like the objectives, you can pretty much go through it in maybe a couple of hours if you just go straight for the star in each level.
Hmm.
Um, Gunman Clive 2, I got in the 3DS eShop. This is the follow up to Gunman Clive, which came out I think 2 years ago. It's pretty much this game. It's very reminiscent of it's like kind of like Mega Man, so it is, and it has this like nice art style to it though. It's like kind of like the sketch art style. I talked about this one before. Um, it's a bit different. This one you have different types of levels. This time around, it's just a straightforward, action platformer though. Because these levels kind of reminiscent of sort of say like Afterburner or something, where you're like direction and like a pterodactyl or something through these like obstacles and things like that, or you run away, you're on this panda and you run away from this like giant buzzsaw and things like that, and you have to speed up or else you're going to get cut down and things like that though. And like the final boss in the game is kind of reminiscent of Shadow of the Colossus, where you have to shoot these weak points and climb up to at the top to destroy it then as well, which is a pretty cool touch. But yeah, very good game. It was like £2.50 though. It's not a really long game though, but if you have a 3DS and like looking for a little cool little game, I thoroughly recommend it though. It's not that dear. Like the first one was only like £2 as well, so I thoroughly recommend getting them though. Anyway, just to pass the time if you wish. Have you ever played any of the Etrian Odyssey games?
I've tried a demo of one and couldn't really get into it. Because I don't like the fact that you can't see your characters, like, ever in that game.
Right.
It's all first person, and you're just...
Yeah.
And there's, like, no map. You're, like, making your own map.
Yeah.
I do know that Persona Q is like that, and I do have that game, but there's, a lot of story stuff, like, cutscenes and whatnot, too, so... That's what is appealing to me with that game.
Yeah, more like because he really enjoyed the Persona 4 story though,
Yeah.
and he just wanted to spend more time with those characters and
Hmm.
that there.
Yep.
The strange thing is, it takes place during it though, doesn't
Yeah,
like
I
it's
think
like
so, yeah.
October, November time, isn't it? During that like year in 2011. So it's kind of strange to have the story was smack dab in the middle of the actual Persona 4 storyline. Because I know
Hmm.
Arena and all that there, I think that takes place afterwards. So it does.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
kind of like to play that too, just to see what the story mode stuff is like. But I'm not really too big into fighting games, so
I'm sure there's a Let's Play perhaps online. You could probably just watch it.
I suppose.
Um, I downloaded the demo for Adrian Odyssey Untold the Millennium Girl. It's pretty much like a remake of the first one that came out in the DS, but like has actually a story element to this time around. And like you said, it's like pretty much do your own map. So like you follow along like the track path, and then basically once you just set the map along the way though to fill the map up with like different icons and like barriers and things like that there. And I don't know, it's just something about it actually quite fine, relaxing though, and just
Well, isn't
enticing
it
though.
supposed to be like really hard too, though? Like the battles?
No,
Really?
I find them pretty easy. I find it pretty easy thus far from what I've played of it.
So I thought those games were supposed to be pretty tough.
Maybe this one's a bit more balanced though, because like I said, this is a remake of the first one.
Could be.
Like I never played any of the other games now. This is like the first proper one of those I've played now. But I find it not that difficult at the moment though, because it gives you a little tutorial to do anyway though. At the start of the game to show you like what to do and things like that, and like the battle's been pretty easy thus far. Like I defeated a boss and like I required a few members and that there. The demo's pretty long as well, which is nice. So like I actually haven't finished the demo yet though, but I'll probably end up getting the game anyway. But yeah, like but I did hear that there. What you said though, that the dude had tend to be tough though. But I assume this probably a bit more balanced because it's a remake of the first game. Um, I downloaded Fantasy Life, which is a I guess RPG-ish game by Level 5, who's done like Dark Cloud, the White Knight Chronicles, Rogue Galaxy,
Yokai Watch
and
in Japan,
Yokai Watch it,
which
and
is
Professor Layton series. And I've played like in this game you actually can choose you have a choose a life. That's pretty much what they redeem it as in the game. You choose one of like I think it's 12 professions. You can either be like a hunter or like a warrior or like a cook or things like that. And I chose a hunter
yeah, or
though.
like a miner or a blacksmith or something. Or,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty much like it's things like you do in MMOs though, where you can be like a mage, but you also could be like a tailor or something. Like it's like your side job or something though. It's pretty much like that in this here though, but done in a little wee cutesy game, cartoon style. So it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't played like a whole lot of it now. Like I played like few hours of it though, and it seems like charming enough though. Because I was interested in this game for quite a while anyway though. Like I seen like some footage of it online and just wanted to check it out though. Um, but like you say, you have there's just a lot of different systems though where you can go around increase your ranking by doing certain tasks for these people though. Some of them might correspond to what your kind of score to your life or might not be, but the fact is you're not like oh, once you choose hunter for example you can never choose another one. You can basically go to this office and then choose one though. So like once you get tired of doing one life you just go and change another one though anyway. Like I'm saying done with being a hunter, I can just be a cook or something. And probably like I assume like the quests in it are like go get certain ingredients and things like that and make this here and deliver us to certain so and so because what I'm doing at the moment is basically hunting these animals or kill these certain types of animals for with a bow and arrow and not there thus far though. So but yeah, it's a decent little game though. I'm enjoying it though, nonetheless. Um, Apotheon, I got it on the PS Plus because it's the free game this month on PS Plus, along with Rogue Legacy, which I also downloaded, and a few other games as well. Did you see the quick look for this game?
No, I'm behind on quick looks and stuff. I haven't seen it.
Um,
Isn't it like a Metroidvania game?
It kind of is though, and it has this cool and kind of Greek, ancient like Greek kind of Greek art style. Like sometimes you see like these, the things on the wall, like kind of hieroglyphics though, or like those old Greek sort of style graphics though, which look pretty cool. And like once seen footage of this game like a few months ago, and I don't know why this is the first game it reminded me of was Outland because Outland has sort of similar style to it though, but it's not entirely the same. But I only played maybe about an hour of it though thus far. But it seems decent enough though. I kind of like Metroidvania games, and this one says to be like you're this guy, I forget your character though, and you're sent to Mount Olympus to sort of, you know, it seems a bit similar to God of War in a way where you have to try and take care of the gods because they're not kind of just already out for themselves and out for the people in Mount Olympus and not like down below or whatever. It seems that way from what I can gather thus far.
Is it a pixel art, like 16-bit, 8-bit game, or is it a Flash-looking game, or what?
I'll just give you a link to the quick look. I'll show you what it looks. It's like 2D game anyway. It's like a 2D Metroidvania game. So it is like has this like pretty cool art style to it. Like I know I watched a quick look for it though. I know I think Drew did it now. which is like weird seeing him do something. I assume it would have been someone else now, but I'll just link it to you here. But yeah, it's a pretty good game now. Like I haven't played it though because I kind of got sidetracked with the 2 games I got this week now, because it's a pretty big week for Nintendo because 2 big games came out this week, along with the new Nintendo 3DS, which pretty much it seemed everyone, most people on my Twitter feed got, which I'm not surprised because a lot of people get new consoles anyway. I wasn't going to get one anyway. The only way I would get one is if my 3DS XL bites the dust, and it hasn't bit the dust yet. I'm perfectly fine with my Link Between Worlds one. Um, but those games, of course, came out are Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D and Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
I'm really surprised you got Monster Hunter. You don't seem like someone that would like it.
Well, I got Monster Hunter Tri and I got Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii and Wii U respectively, and I probably played maybe about 2 hours of each at most,
So
and just never touched
nothing.
them again. And yeah, pretty much nothing. But then because it's a game I really do feel like I can get into if I give the time of day to, because I don't know, just something about them I do enjoy though. I haven't I probably played about maybe let's say 3 or 4 hours thus far, and it's pretty much Monster Hunter. Like if you play any of those games or seen them, you pretty much know what to expect though. Nice thing about this one is it's a bit more of a it gives you a good little tutorial at the start though, basically, and you can also you have each of the 12 different starter weapons, so like you don't have to buy a certain weapon to, say like you become, like if you're just using like a long sword, you don't have to buy another one. You can just try each of them out once you acquire them, and you could sort of say, okay, I want to go this path. Then I want to use these like twin swords or something, or I want to use this big hammer or this long sword or whatnot now, rather than having to buy them and then realize, oh fuck, I just wasted this money on this stupid weapon. I don't want to use this anymore. Um, at the moment I started off with the katana, which is a long sword, and now I'm using this insect glaive, which is one of the new additions in this game, which is a pretty good thing. You have the staff, but also you have this thing where you shoot out like this little insect thing at enemies and does some damage to them. Like you use the staff to shoot out a thing that kind of marks the enemy, and then you shoot the insect at it though to sort of damage it some more then as well, which is like useful for taking out some of the bigger hunts you probably go through and down the line anyway. Like I haven't done a lot of the hunts now. Just mostly been doing this sort of the 2-star quest at the moment though, where it's basically like standard fodder, like oh, collect these eggs, bring them back, or slay X number of these jaggies or whatnot now. But then there's like I think the real meat of the games were later on, especially when you go out and take down the big monsters now, and like what takes like probably forever to do, or like it might be a lot easier when you have team up with like 3 other people and you get built up to it now. So it would be, because I would very much enjoy. I think I would enjoy this game if I play with other people who I know play it now and enjoy it though. Like, did you play the demo of it whatsoever?
I did, and I didn't like that there was no lock on for the camera, but apparently there is a lock on. You just have to use the touchscreen. It's not a button press.
Right.
So I haven't tried it again. I tried the dual blades class. I don't know. My main issue was the camera, so I don't know. I guess if there is a lock on, I'll try it again to see how it goes.
I don't recall there being a lock on. Like, I think the only no, the thing is, so there isn't really a lock on though. The only thing it does is if when you're fighting like one of the big monsters, like hunt monsters or whatever, you basically, if you have it set on the touchscreen, you could just touch the items as seen and just touch it, and then locks onto him there, but it doesn't like properly lock onto him. That just centers the camera onto that monster then. But there's not like a
So it's not
proper
going to
lock on.
follow the monster when it goes out. away, like out of the screen's view? Like is
Uh,
it only like a temporary thing? Like if you touch it to go look at the monster, and then like if the monster moves, then it doesn't follow it.
no, I don't think so.
Oh, see,
But like I haven't played enough of it though.
that's my issue. Because like the level I
That
did was the beginner level in the demo, where there's like a ton of small monsters fighting you at the same time as like the boss, and they're constantly getting in the way and like knocking you down. It's just annoying.
yeah. But that was I think that's a lot of people's problem with the game though, especially with the whole like it's like whole animation based as well. Kind of like you have to wait for an animation to develop, like attack animation to finish before you can actually like move or something like that. There like it's like I think Jeff I like watched a bit of the quick look for it, and that's kind of what one of the problems Jeff seemed to have with it though, which is like why he's not a big fan of Dark Souls and the like though, because of that sort of all about kind of animation as well, and animation frames and things like that now. And same way with here, like there's no lock on system, which I can guess I can see why people wouldn't be fussing it though, because it is quite hard to attack certain monsters sometimes because you can't lock onto them. You hit them, miss because it's flipping split second too late now. They moved out of the way or whatnot now, so.
I wouldn't have a problem with the animation thing if the camera was if it was just like the Dark Souls camera or something. I would be fine.
Right. So that's just your main gripe is the camera, not their
Mm-hmm.
stuff, pretty much. Yeah. Like I'm using the D-pad thing on the touchscreen itself to move though, because I don't have I have a Circle Pad Pro, but it's the for the small one. I don't have a Circle Pad Pro XL, which I was looking at earlier today to see if I can find one. But the problem is they're sold out because it's been a while. Like it's sold out on the Nintendo Store, it's sold out on Amazon, and I can get it though, but it won't be here for like several weeks. Like it's like they have to dispatch from Japan, or if I want to get one like shooter, I'll have to pay like 30 odd pound, on which I'm not gonna fucking bother because I could rather just get a game at that price. But yeah, I'm gonna try it though later. Like I'm gonna spend more time with it though and play some online with it though, because that's the thing as well. Like I never really progressed far enough in the previous ones to sort of play online with
Mm-hmm.
people though, and I kind of want to do it with this here because I feel like playing online with people, even if maybe with randoms, so it'll probably be blast. So well, it'll be good in this here though, because especially you'll get yelled at because there's no like voice chat. Like if you playing this on the 360 or like Xbox One or something, if you're playing with a party or something, you can talk with it. You probably get fucking chomped at for being useless or whatnot now. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a bunch of beginner guide videos and all that there, especially for people who are new to the series as well, because um there is certain systems though that are quite tricky though to understand though, and there's like a lot of stuff you have to you have pretty much it's pretty much a kind of a grind game as well, because you have to go out and get certain items to get X number of this item or X number of this item to craft or upgrade your weapons or forge new weapons and things like that as well, and get herbs and mushrooms and things like that and combine to create certain items to help you with certain big monsters, like poison bullets or traps and things like that as well down the line once you fight the harder monsters. So because I'm sure like at the moment though I won't have a really hard time. Like I only did like I think one like big monster at the moment though, like I said, and just like most of the other stuff. But like at the start of each thing as well, like you get a chest that has supplies, like first aid kit or mini whetstone, which have to use to sharpen your weapon to increase like if you keep hitting your enemies with the weapon, it gets dull, it gets more dull, and therefore you're going to do less damage. So, and therefore you have to keep up with your sharpness, and therefore keep your damage up and maintained as well. And but also once you go out there, those are there in the quest though from the guild though. But you can do expeditions, which I haven't done yet, which you do not have to supply chest whatsoever, and you have to basically you know go out there with the items you have in your item box and take them out and like be on your own pretty much without any help from you know other people and that there. Um, but I haven't done any of them yet though. But I'll probably do that some down the line anyway. But I'm enjoying it at the moment though. I'm actually going to stick with this one now and finally get into the series because I know a few people on my Twitter feed really love this series though and really played the last one to death. Like some people played 3 Ultimate for like 300 hours, which is nuts. I won't go that far, but if I can spend like 40, 50, 60 hours or whatever on a game and have my fill, I'll be fine.
Yeah, a friend of mine is really, really, really into Monster Hunter, and he's played. I think he played like, God, what is it? At least 300 or 400 hours. Yeah, like it's a lot.
Over the entire series.
Just of the last one, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
3 Ultimate. Oh
Yep.
jeez.
Yep.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are gonna really get into these games though anyway, just like trying different builds out. And, like it's pretty much like I think it's one of those games. Like I feel that the audience with this and like Dark Souls series are kind of connected a bit. I'm sure like there's a crossover because people can try
What's
different
interesting
builds.
is he doesn't like Dark Souls, but he loves Monster Hunter. It's weird.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, because if I feel that there's a certain like part of the audience is crossover between the two games because it's all about like different builds and using different weapons and like different like animation frames and that there like I mentioned before. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm gonna stick with this one though anyway. And like I said, like I got these 2 games and like I've actually bought. It's surprising. Like I've bought 3 proper 3DS games in the last few weeks, and the only game I bought last year in terms of new release was Theater Rhythm. So I've bought more flipping 3DS games this year already than I did last year. Um, but yeah, and the final game is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, which is the remake of Majora's Mask that came out in the N64 14 years ago. I am one of those ones who wasn't a big fan of Majora's Mask, but I wouldn't go on the side of Jeff Gershman says, who absolutely seems to detest that game with a passion, it seems. Because every time it's mentioned on the Bombcast, he just seems to go like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always started playing it yesterday though, and I played some of it there later today, and I don't know why, just something about this time now I'm enjoying it more though. Like I'm using a guide though just to help me with some of the quests out there, because the fact is, it's been so long since I played this game, I practically forget everything, most things about it though. Like I'd be completely lost in certain aspects because, like if I play like No Link to the Past for example, I pretty much know what to do. I pretty much know where to go because I've played that game numerous times over. And the same way with like Ocarina of Time, I know what to do in that game as well. But with something like this, I have to look up certain things and figure out what to do next though. But I think the difference thing between this one and the other one, I don't know if it's exactly the same, but they have this system where it keeps sort of the quests, like these little quests you can do. Sometimes like you speak to a certain character and says, "Oh, something's happening here at this time or whatnot," and then it like pops up like rumored quest or whatever, rumored event, and basically you can go to that thing at a certain time and then you can do it no problem then because you know what to do though. And I don't think that was in the last game now, because it's a very different Zelda game than most though, because it's of course the whole premise about this game is 72 hours before the moon comes down and destroys Termina, and there's you have this clock town, which is like the main big town in this game, and like there's these different areas, like there's this Deku area, there's this Goron area, there's this Sora area, and this other area, and like there's only 4 dungeons in the game, And because this came out, like, of course, it came out 2 years after Ocarina of Time, and you could say it's pretty much like an expansion, because that's what it was. To Ocarina of Time, and because it takes place after Ocarina of Time. Your young Link, though, you get turned into Deku, scrubbed by the Skull Kid and that there. That's how the game starts off, and then it's all about collecting masks and that there, and you can change into different, you can change into Goron, you can change into Zora, and things like that there as well, and you choose get these other masks as well that do certain things, which like either make you run faster or, you know, you have to get this mask called the All Night Mask in order to stay up and listen to this story about from this old woman, or else you just fall asleep and miss a lot of it entirely and things like that. Just certain these little interesting little side quests you do. But yeah, you never played Zelda Majora's Mask, did you?
No,
No.
I've seen footage of it, but I have not.
Okay. Um, it's an interesting game though. I know Patrick Klepek loves it. It's his favorite Zelda. It's not mine though, but I wasn't particularly a big fan of it when I played through it back in 2000 though. Um, but I'm gonna give it another shot this time now, and I'm seeing that I'm gonna appreciate it probably a bit more now after 14 years. Because I think I'm gonna enjoy this remake more though, because it actually does certain things better than the original version already from what I've played of it thus far. Like one of the a certain thing in it though, in the original though, where is placed a song of double time, which basically fast forwards to like 6 or 12 hours or something. But when you play it in this game, you could just choose any hour up to like the next day. Like say you just want to move it like 2 or 3 hours instead of like the fast forward to the actual 6 or hours it was originally though, and things like that. But yeah, that's Majora's Mask. I know a lot of people are playing it now at the moment on their new 3DS, I guess. Some of them on their Majora's Mask one, which looks nice, I guess. So, but I'm just perfectly fine with my Link Between Worlds one. I think that's about it now. It's a pretty short one now. It's just over an hour long, hour and a half coming up. Anything else you want to mention before we wrap it up?
Oh, I didn't. I did forget to mention something about Dying Light.
Okay.
One thing I really like about it is just cutting off like the zombies' heads, or like cutting them in half and stuff. I don't know. It's just so fun.
Yeah, I actually I watched some of the quick look on that there, and I do like the fact just like you're just cutting them off, just like the blood just squirts everywhere. It seems it's like pretty gruesome.
It is, yeah. And it's actually cool. Like sometimes it'll go into like a slow mode thing when you're like cutting off their head or like cutting their face off or something, and it's just really. Sometimes that's really cool. And like some of the combat moves are really fun. Like there's one that I recently unlocked where you jump down from the roof or like a high ledge or something, and it's only with a two-handed weapon that you can do it. And once you hit the ground, you do like this big, huge like area of effect, like ground pound thing, and like knocks over everything, and that's so much fun. And there's a lot of different like weapons and stuff to craft. Regular like hand, one or two-hand weapons. Then there's throwing weapons. There's traps and there's like grenades. And there's like just tons of stuff. There's like throwing stars. There's like freezing or electric or exploding throwing stars. Like there's a lot of different combat options. So it's really fun to just mess with that stuff. And I don't know. I enjoy it.
I know you were going to get the game anyway though, but you weren't expect to get
I mean, I wanted
to
when it first was announced and first saw the footage, but I wasn't entirely sure about it. And I was kind of waiting for the quick look, and so once that came out, I was like, "Oh, yep, I'm buying it." So
that seems to be the case with a lot of things. So I know Dennis actually got that Darkest Dungeon game from watching the quick look.
yeah, I watched it and it seems pretty interesting, but I don't. There's nothing like making me want to rush out and buy it.
That game is just not. It looks neat and all that there, but I just feel that game. I don't think that game's for me.
I'd rather buy that Besieged game. That looks pretty fun. It's like Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, but a little more mature. You, like, blow up people and there's big huge blood spots in the ground. I don't know. Did you watch
Oh,
that? Did you watch that quick
no,
look?
I didn't watch that quick
okay.
look.
You should watch it. It's pretty good.
So that's a game I never really played too much of,
That's
though.
the only Banjo-Kazooie game I've ever played. It's completely different than the other ones.
I know. Like there's I know there's a team of Playtronic Games that's making a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, which I'll be keeping my eye on. As long as it's more like the first and not the second one, I'm fine. I wasn't particularly a big fan. Wasn't a big fan. Just didn't really like the backtracking in that game constantly. But yeah, I think I'll about do it then. We'll probably, I don't know when we'll be doing another one though. I assume maybe when Bloodborne's out, because
that's quite a while, isn't it? Still,
it's, well, a month and a
it's
half
like
away, I
almost
guess.
2 months.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll probably do one maybe a couple of weeks time though. Once Dennis comes back and once we play some more Dan Lang, because I like to probably share my impressions with that game then.
Yeah.
Like I thought Dennis was gonna get it though.
It didn't sound like he was going to.
Oh, I thought he was gonna get it though, but yeah, because I know but he's like one of those ones he wasn't. He kind of got bored with Dead Island though, and probably don't know if he'll be the same way here now about it. But yeah, I'm getting, like I say, I've already pre-ordered the game for £30 though, so have to getting it though, not this week but the following week.
If you liked anything about Dead Island at all, like, you should like this game. Even with the analog combat removed, I think you'll be okay with it. I'm kind of surprised that people aren't really into it. Like, I've listened to the Giant Bombcast and the Cheap Ass Gamer podcast, and like there are people playing it, but they aren't like really into it. You know, like I don't think maybe they haven't gotten far enough into it to like really get into it. So I don't know.
I haven't listened to this week's Bombcast yet, but I listened to last week's one, and Brad seemed to be in it. From what
Well, yeah, I think on this one he's pretty much like done with it as far as I can tell. I mean, he wants to like go back to it, but it sounds like he's not chomping at the bit. And then like Jeff is like pretty much done with it completely. He went as far as playing the PC version and then putting in Cheat Engine, which just gave him like infinite health and weapons and everything. So
yeah, that's
kind of
right.
like ruining the game.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't give a shit about that there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of thing I did with Grand Theft Auto 3 and that there. Like I pretty much didn't play that game properly. But I think most people did it that way though back then. They basically just cheated their ass off to go through the game. It wasn't like Infinite Health now. It was like loads of ammo, spawn tanks, spawn weapons, or like increase your body armor and things like that again once you're low on health and that there. But I didn't do that with San Andreas, so I haven't done that with a proper GTA game since Vice City. But yeah, we'll do one another couple of weeks, so I'll give you my impressions, and we'll talk. And Bloodborne will probably be coming out soon as well in a month and a half time. I'm very much looking forward to that game. Are you getting Dark Souls at launch now or what? Because I cancelled my pre-order because I think I'm going to wait on that, because the fact is that comes out the week after Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, probably not then. Unless there's some like big sale or a good deal or something, then maybe. But yeah, I'll probably be busy with Bloodborne anyway.
Yeah, the thing, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD I'm getting the week before, and I'm getting Bloodborne, and then Dark Souls 2 Skull, the first thing comes out the week after that. But I cancelled it though. I'll probably get it at the end of April for my birthday then, I guess, because I'll probably be finished with Bloodborne by then. But anyway, this is a pretty short episode by usual standards. Anyway, there's no Dennis with us. Hope he gets well soon. He'll probably be back on the next episode. So, thank you, Derek, for joining on this episode of the United Gamedom podcast.
Yeah, nice.
Go on and continue playing and loving Dying Light, and hope I'll join you then come next week.
All right.
Stupid distribution problems, or whatever the fuck the reason is. I, of course, have been Darren, and we'll see you all next time for another episode.
See
Goodbye.
ya.